Hello?
Hey, it's Kenny of Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. How you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing real good, and thank you for being on the show.
No problem.
So, talk a little bit about yourself and how did your wrestling career got started?
Well, I was always a big wrestling fan, and I particularly like deathmatch wrestling, and Madman Pondo was one of my favorite wrestlers, so I found him on Facebook and messaged him, and he handed me to Mickey Knuckles. And Mickey Knuckles trained me for a while, but me and Pondo kind of hit it off, and started going with him places, and I'm where I am now.
Do you remember the first match you ever had, and if so, who was your opponent and where was it taking place?
My first match was in Metro, West Virginia. I wrestled Mickey Knuckles.
What was that like to have your first match against the person who pretty much trained you?
It was awesome. I was definitely more comfortable wrestling her because I'd trained with her, and she took care of me. We had a good match.
And when you had your first match, did you ever got nervous prior to the match?
I've got my first match. I was nervous. My first match in Japan, I was nervous. It just depends on where I'm wrestling and who I'm wrestling.
And how would you describe your wrestling style?
I can do a couple different things. I can do technical wrestling. I can do deathmatch wrestling. I can brawl. I can do what you need me to.
Again, I am joined with Crazy Mary Dobson here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Um, and let me ask you this. You have any wrestling shows, upcoming events that you would like to promote?
Well, I'm going to be on a show with Matt Hardy and Masada Saturday in Nitro, West Virginia. I'm be wrestling. I'm in a three-way with Angel Dust and Christy Von Erie. So that'll be definitely a show to come to. It's in Nitro, which is the place I first wrestled in.
Oh, and for what I've heard, you're going to be making your debut at Magnificent Ladies Wrestling next month. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, he's been trying to get me to do work there for a while now, but custom matches kind of was weird to me. But I told him if it was just wrestling, and I would come down there and do it. So far I got 2 matches. I'm just wrestling in, so I'll do it.
And if people want to book more matches of you, they can go to magnificentladieswrestling.com. She will be there. A lot of talented female wrestlers will be there as well. It's your chance to book matches. It's you, the fans, call. Just go to magnificentladieswrestling.com and you get to determine who faces who. Um, who do you consider as influences in your wrestling career?
Well, Mephisto definitely. She kind of has that deathmatch kind of feel to her. While I was in Japan, Aki Kimbayashi, she was my trainer. She was definitely a big influence on me. So pretty much those 2 girls.
Who do you consider some of your favorite wrestlers that you like being in the ring with, working with?
Mia Yim, definitely. Mia's her, met in Japan, and we work for the same company, and I got to work her in Japan, and we trained together a lot. She's definitely an awesome opponent and a good friend of mine.
What was it like wrestling in Japan? What was the experience like?
It's awesome. The Japanese fans respect wrestling so much. You get presents after you wrestle. They know what they're watching, so you can't fuck up spots or let you know about it. Nice.
Is that something that you would like to do more in the future, like wrestling overseas?
Yeah, I'm going back to Japan once I get my work visa finished, and I'll be working for Reina more.
What and considering how established of a wrestler you have been, obviously there's the WSU's, there's the Shimmers, there's the Shines. Is that something you see yourself doing in the future?
Yeah, I've been working on getting my videotapes together and whatnot for Shimmer, so we'll see how that goes.
And as a fan, speaking from a fan standpoint, what's your thoughts on women's wrestling as it is right now?
Well, at shows like AIW and Shine and Shimmer and WSU, you have some really good women wrestlers who I respect what we do. Then you got some lady wrestlers that just get out there and model, which I fucking hate. So it's hit and miss.
So, what are some other goals? You know, you being on the road or winning championships or having more matches. What are some other goals you like to accomplish?
Well, hopefully I'll be going to Mexico soon. I would love to do that and get that checked off my list. I always want to go to new states that I haven't booked in yet. And also, I try to hit as much countries as I can, which would be awesome, like Australia, Germany, things like that.
What do you like the most of being a wrestler? Do you like being on the road? Do you like hanging with your peers, fan interaction? What do you like the most of being a wrestler?
I like to show people stuff that they wouldn't normally see. Like, that's why I love doing death matches. I get that holy shit factor from the crowd, and I like entertaining them in a way they usually don't get to be entertained. So I think that's my favorite part.
When it comes to being a character inside the ring in wrestling matches, do you like being the baby face or do you like being the heel?
I like being heel. It's a lot more fun. You get to beat up on the person a little more. You get to make people in the crowd cry and want to wrestle you as well. It's a good time.
I know this is a non-wrestling question I'm about to ask, but from what I hear, considering I live in Kentucky and are you going to be at Scarefest this weekend?
So yeah, I got press passes for that bitch. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Well, I'm going to be there on Friday of that weekend. I would love to meet you. I would definitely love to meet you.
All right, no problem.
I guess we'll message each other on exactly where, and because it's gonna be like thousands, billions, and trillions of people gonna be there. So,
Yeah, for real.
so yeah, we'll talk more on that off the air. Um, Let me ask you this: what would your advice be to anyone that wants to get into the wrestling business? What would your advice be?
Get in where you fit in. Don't be picky. Don't be picky about where you work with, you work in front of. Fucking do it. You gotta be open to do stuff you're uncomfortable with. Don't ever disrespect yourself, but push your limits a little bit.
Oh, and let me ask you this: what do you like the most when you're out there performing and entertaining? What do you like the most from a fan watching wrestling? What do you like the most about it?
I like to get the holy shit chant from the crowd. That's my goal. So if I can if I can shock and awe the crowd, I've done my job.
So obviously, I'm gonna assume that you like the ECW type of wrestling, do you?
Oh yes, I worked at Slave the Death Match in Colorado, and I got to talk and chill with Tommy Dreamer, and that was fucking awesome. He's a really cool guy. He's in a horror movie coming up called Storage Space, Self Storage. Self Storage. It comes out in November, so that's pretty awesome to know that Tommy Dreamer is going to be in a horror movie.
That's definitely awesome. So Again, I'm joined with Crazy Mary Dobson right here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. And believe me, she definitely lives up to the crazy part. But she's a very talented wrestler and truly cares about this business. And that's the type of people I like to see succeed and perform to a higher level. Is that something you see yourself doing? Is that would you give it a thought of wanting to compete in the big leagues such as WWE or Impact or Ring of Honor?
I would definitely do ROH, but as far as WWE and stuff goes, I think they were trying to make me something I'm not, and I'm not into all that shit, so I don't know. I'd have to, pretty big negotiations for me to be in WWE. I'm happy to go to Japan and Mexico and shit, so.
So when you're on the road, when you're doing these shows and you get a chance to see Tommy Dreamer and some other wrestlers that you definitely usually see on television, what's that feeling like that you not only you get to work with them, but you get a chance to talk with them, interact with them, and they give you stories of their wrestling and stuff?
I think to myself that a year ago or 2 years ago, I would have never thought this shit was going to be happening. Hearing Tommy Dreamer tell me road stories about him and Bob Mahoney, and it's just great. I can't explain in words how awesome that is. And I went to Abdullah's house of ribs and Chinese food, and I got to have lunch with him, and that was fucking awesome.
What do you consider as the highlight of your wrestling career thus far?
Definitely doing my dog collar match in Japan in Shinjuku with Aki. That was awesome.
Who are some wrestlers out there, or female, whether it's pro or indie, that you haven't had a chance to work with but would like to work with someday?
Lufisto. I want to work with Lufisto and Mischief very badly, so if I can get that scratched off my list before long, that'd be fucking awesome.
Oh, I definitely can see you and Mischief. I mean, y'all both are kind of alike personalities. You know, that has that holy shit factor written all over it. So that's
yeah, that's what I like.
so I definitely will put that in the list of my dream matches. Crazy Mary Dobson versus Mischief. And it could be a death match. And I'm sure Mischief wouldn't mind. She can hang with anybody. So that will be awesome. So go ahead and tell the listeners out there how can they get in touch with you social media-wise, Facebook, Twitter, or any other links that people need to know.
Well, my Facebook page is my shoot name, Sarah Bridges, SARIHBRIDGES, and I have a Hotmail account, which is crazymarydobson@hotmail.com. Those are the best ways to get a hold of me.
I also hear that you just got on Twitter now. You're under Crazy Mary.
Oh, yes, my Twitter.
You're under Crazy Mary Dobson. So go follow her, or she'll hurt you.
Yeah.
And she won't be shy for doing that whatsoever.
Not at all.
Well, Miss Dobson, it was great talking to you. I had as you like to say, fucking great time interviewing you, and I definitely will see you at Scarefest. I guess we'll text each other or whatever, and go off from there, and we'll meet somewhere. I know Rosie is going to be there, former WWE wrestler. Ring of Honor, Jim Cornette, and Mike Mondo are going to be there as well. So Scarefest got some wrestlers that's going to be there. So that's pretty cool. But
yeah.
thank you again for your time. And
No problem. Thank you.
And you have a good night. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye, man.
All right, bye-bye. That was Crazy Mary Dobson joining me here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.